All right, so here the security lights, solar powered, and it has 4 panels, and you also get 4 of them. So the other 3 are in here. One of the things I should say that I like about this kit is that you get a remote control for each light. So you're gonna have 4 of these guys in there. So again, you have the other 3 here, and the 3rd one there, and then the 4th one is here. So let's go over this for a bit. This is all plastic construction. I like that the sensor is pretty big, so it should pick up movement easily. Of course, you get your instruction manual, and you do get a warning about the battery. So another good thing is that, as you can see here, the solar panel is adjustable, and these little smaller panels here, light panels, you can adjust them, and you can also swivel. So you have a range here of how you want to set your lighting. And then on the back, this white button here is what controls everything. So there are a few modes. There are 3 modes. You can see on the remote. 3 modes. Okay. And most people probably use it on the first mode, but the first mode is just, it'll turn on when there's movement at night. In the daytime, it'll charge, so it'll turn itself off so it can charge. The second mode is that it'll be on, but it'll be dim. All right, so when there's movement, then the light will get brighter. And then the 3rd mode is that it's just dim all the time. And then when the sun comes up, it'll turn itself off so it can charge. So it just depends on how you want it. I'm going to have it on the first one to where it's off until movement, at least at nighttime. When there's movement, it'll turn on, and it'll stay on for about 20 seconds. And also it will stay on continuously if there's continuous movement. So definitely something that I think is really nice. And just to kind of show you, it's a little bit pre-charged right now. So let's see if I can turn this on. So we'll turn it on there. Very bright lights, you can see that. And again, you can swivel it to how you want it, and that goes all the way around 360 degrees, it looks like here. Look at that. All right. And super lightweight. This is your mounting bracket here. And the shit goes off. If I stop moving, I don't know if you guys want to wait 20 seconds, but let's see. I'm not going to move at all. Just bear with me here. Hope they post this. So I'm thinking it's just movement. If I'm speaking, moving my lips, I don't know if that's going to pick it up. I am blocking my mouth with the phone. There you go. And then now let's move. There you go. Perfect. All right, so definitely would recommend picking this up. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.
Mount this to your the surface, your wall, your roof or whatever, and then this slides in like that. Or you can mount directly through these 2 holes here. The challenge is you just want to make sure that you take into consideration the position of your solar panel. Not a whole lot of movement there, tilting back and forth. And then the nice thing is, though, let me take this out, is the position of these in relationship to that, right? So you've got a little bit of pivot when you're mounted, but these can pivot in, they can swivel up and down, and same with this bottom one, it can swivel left to right and up and down, and obviously the same with the other side, it swivels up and down, can move it that way. So real versatile as far as that way goes. And then there's basically 3 modes for that you can set using the remote. Mode 1 is it only goes on at night when it senses motion, and it just goes on for 20 seconds until it stops sensing motion. Mode 2 is it automatically turns off during the daytime, but will turn on as a dim light at night. When it senses movement, it goes to the bright mode for 20 seconds. And then the other one is just always on from the time that it gets dark at night to the time the battery dies. But overall, real handy. I like this because it's solar powered. Not super bright. Let me see if I can turn that on. Obviously the solar panel's on. But it'll do for those tricky spots where it's hard to get electricity to.
This LED solar light is so cool because you can change the wings and spread them different ways. So let's see, I got a remote here, and here's the solar panel, and then see how each of these sides you can move them in and out, and then there's one on the bottom. I don't want to blind you. Well, looks like I'm going to do that. And then the motion sensor is right here. So I'm going to mount this in the back. I had a bad experience with one of the lights that I got. It was a major ordeal to put up. I put it up in a place that, anyway, I need to find something else. And I think that this may replace it. And totally configurable. And if I put it on the back of my house, that will be facing east. And then I can cover most of my yard, what I'm missing. I'm going to be putting up a bunch of solar lights. So I think this will be great. And I love that it's got a little remote. And what it's got, oh, the modes 1, 2, and 3. So you can set it how it responds to the motion. But throws a lot of light, doesn't it? This will be great.